Hi, this is Dr. Sweta Adatia and welcome to again Limitless Brain Lab. Thank you for all the love that is being shared across from the globe. I'm extremely grateful for all the likes, shares and subscribes that you have been doing so far. Please continue this journey because we will be bringing some amazing neuroscientific facts. For example, today's topic is entirely about abundance. How do you wire your brain for abundance? And that also, very quickly, is it possible by using any of the mantras? I mean, what a beautiful tradition that we have. We had Kuber Mantra, we had Lakshmi Mantra, we had Lakshmi, Kuber, Lakshmi Mantra. I mean, just fascinating to see all the mantras. You know, I'm not an expert when it comes to mantra chanting, but I really love to explore what is happening in the brain. In this topic, let me bring out why and how these mantras for abundance and prosperity helps. Please listen until the end because I am going to share that mantra which is going to be making a difference, because what has been studied is there is a change in the wiring pattern of the brain which happens after the mantra. Okay, let us understand first abundance and prosperity. A lot of people are not having enough abundance or are not prosperous because it is all limiting beliefs which are parked in the brain. We have to understand fundamentally the neuroscience of everything. As we evolved, we were hunter-gatherers, we had to prepare a meal, we had to really hunt and then have our stomachs filled. So when we have come from that, there was also a danger. There used to be a lion, a tiger, a threat that would attack, so my job in the brain was to protect me. So the three brains that I keep talking about, and I'm going to repeat it for all the newcomers. There's brain stem, which is allowing me to breathe, to survive. There's a little emotional brain. I mean, neuroscience is fairly complex. This is a very, very super oversimplification of the entire thing. But just to prove the point that there is a limbic system or an emotional system which is active, and then a prefrontal cortex, which is the neocortex or the new cortex, which is allowing us to think absolutely out of the box, to be very focused, to have the best attention, to discriminate, etc. The entire human journey is all about exploring this beautiful subsections of the brain and the mind. Now, when we were hunter-gatherers, my job was to protect, okay? So any threat comes in, my limbic system is always active and I want to be doubtful that this will kill me. I want to be fearful because this can attack and harm. Exactly the same thing we are doing today. The self-doubts, I don't think so I can do this. The fear of losing a job, the fear of not making a project happen, the fear of not getting a certain thing appreciated. We all reel in this emotional and limbic system. Now remember, this is a loop. So what is happening in this entire thing when we talk of the brain and the limbic system is, I have doubts, I have fears, which is not allowing me to perform well, which is stopping my access to prosperity. So there are 5 factors which stops you from being non-abundant or non-prosperous or non-successful. What is number 1? The number 1 is removing the obsession for free things. I'm going to repeat it because this is extremely important. Removing the obsession for free things in life. Every day I think I don't need to pay for this. This will come for free. I think let me just arrange it. Some discount is possible. This is a limiting behavior and belief, which means you're not respecting the work that the other person is putting in. You're not respecting that credibility of the knowledge which is there. In the good old traditions, there was always that respect. There used to be dakshina, there used to be guru dakshina. There used to be so many things of transaction. So first of all is that obsession for getting the free things is a big hurdle when we talk about the mind shift, because all I want you to do is go from the poverty mindset or the mind pattern to an abundance mind shift, to go from this emotional limbic loop and rut to get into the PFC, start getting the opportunities. It's not that a shower of all the money is going to come. No, there is going to be opportunities in life. There is going to be preparation for those opportunities. Ideas will come in. They say it's $1 million idea. Why? Because one little idea, if executed, can become $1 million one day, right? So it's all about How are you shifting that mind? Stopping and understanding what do you need out of life. This is such an important thing. I want to be prosperous. I want to have abundance. But have you identified that? Have you made a clear intention of what do you need? Now, of course, we are not talking of greed here, right? We're talking of an abundant process by which enough things are satisfied and fulfilled for you. Have you identified that? Have you written a number down? Have you really visualized it? If you have done that emotionally, deeply connected, are you connected with it with the belief that yes, it is going to happen? This is of crucial importance because in your mind shift, you need to do that. That's number 2. The number 3 is having the guilt, having the guilt of doing something which was not right, having the guilt, because guilt is the number 1 limbic loop which keeps you in that process for good, for possibly life. So you have to get out of it. You have to process that guilt. Otherwise, you will keep remaining in that processing loop where you will not be able to develop that PFC to get that prosperity and abundance that you desire or deserve, And the 4th important thing is fear. Fear is an emotion which is going to be there. Fear is an emotion which is part of our life. As I said, talking about the hunter-gatherers, they were fearful. They didn't want to die. The survival was in the question. So fear is going to be there. But are you fearful always about losing a job? Are you fearful about loss in the business? Are you fearful about certain thing which is not going to happen right? Please do not be fearful, otherwise you will attract that reality. Why do we say that? We say that because when you do that, your brain chemicals, your circuitry is in such a way that it is shutting off your prefrontal cortex. It is shutting off all the potentials and possibilities and the ideas and opportunities and all the work that you can do, that you can fulfill, which you are cutting short. So it is really not that, when we say, there's a pattern which is generated and then, if I continuously think I'm attracting from the universe is all here. Yes, it is all about yatha brahmande tatha pinde or yatha pinde tatha brahmande. It's a beautiful, beautiful Sanskrit saying that whatever is inside is outside, whatever is outside is inside. Yes, you need to understand the universe of your mind, of your brain, and then calibrate it accordingly. So number 4th point, which we discussed, extremely important, is about the fear. 5th and last important thing in the terms of abundance or prosperity mindset is having respect for the resources. Being thankful, being grateful of all the resources around us, trying to lessen the waste, trying to reduce that waste, because it is so important that the resources, when I talk of prosperity or when I say Lakshmi, I'm talking of energy, I'm talking of potential, I'm talking of a thing which is making happiness in your life, thing which is making changes in your life, a thing which is making you do things which is not possible for a person who does not have that resource. So the number 5th and important thing is making sure you respect that resource. Now, coming back to Lakshmi or the Kubera in the good old tradition used to be a figure which says everything is there, it's like traditionally like the treasure chest of all the resources that you can imagine. Now, when you play a Kuber Mantra, when you play a Lakshmi Mantra, what are the things that are happening in the brain? These mantras were crafted in a way that it would allow you to step out of the limbic loop. These mantras were crafted in a way that it would stop the blockage or the leak from a certain energy body, because we are also formed not just of the physical self, but also of the energy body, where those doubts creep in, where those fears creep in. So it would balance all those systems. It was designed in such a way that even if you chant or you play it passively, it would have an effect. And I would like you to go through, as I would be playing here, the Kuber Ashtalakshmi Mantra, and especially the important words of Reem, Kreem, Shreem, Kleem. These are all very, very important mantras.
Om Reem Shreem Kreem Treem Kuberaya Ashtalakshmi Mam Grihe Dhanam Puraya Puraya Namaha. Om Reem Shreem Kreem Treem Kuberaya Ashtalakshmi Mam Grihe Dhanam Puraya Puraya Namaha. Om Reem Shreem Kreem Treem Kuberaya Ashtalakshmi मम गृहे धनं पुरय पुरय नमः। ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं क्रीं त्रीं कुबेराय अष्टलक्ष्मी मम गृहे धनं पुरय पुरय नमः।
What is it doing in the brain is absolutely splendid. So I had the opportunity to play this mantra and then see what changes are happening in the brain. Very quickly, in 5 minutes of playing this mantra, you see the theta, which is the slow wave, popping up. You see the fast wave coming down. You see the modulation which is happening in a simple, barely 5 minutes of a passive mantra which is played. Now, if you actively speak out, if you actively chant, obviously the benefit would be proportionate. But it is so interesting to see. It just does not happen if you're just talking of prosperity, or if you're talking of even bringing a positive mindset, even visualizing that all the things are happening in your life. That is the reason why all these mantras, the way they were crafted, the way they were built, the way they were, the processed, I would say that they were absolutely crafted. They were just processed. And good old rishis knew all the neuroscience that we now are able to test in the lab. So I'm extremely, I would say, doubtless when it comes to the benefit of these mantras. But the problem comes is, the moment you doubt, the moment you have insecurity, the moment you question, the moment you don't have the faith, the moment there is disbelief, the effect also comes down. Remember that you are consciously now stopping the circuits of the brain to perform. You're stopping the circuits to function. So it is extremely prudent, extremely important that you also do it with that faith, with that belief, with that, I would say, dedication, and then obviously the effect will be amplified. Now, we need to chant 108 times. A lot of times you will see people asking you to chant 108. Why should you chant 108 times? Now, I had this question many years back, and then every little thing, puja or anything that I would go do, and they would say, oh, offer it 108, offer it a certain number. Why? So this is extremely important for us as logical human beings to understand why do we do that. Now, 1 plus 8 becomes 9. I'm no numerology expert, but 9 is a wholesome number. 9 is an infinity representation of an infinity. It's a complete number. After 9, you just sort of repeat things, right? So 9 is a representation of that complexity. 9 is a representation of that infinity. So essentially, that is the reason you just chant it 108. All the mala that you have has 108 beads. Anything that you need to offer it for 108 times. Now, if you are not able to do daily 108, pick up a day of the week. Pick up a time of the week when you say, okay, I am going to passively play it, either play it at the back of the house, or spend that time actively, visualize, have a clear purpose, remove all the doubts and the fears that we talked about, have thankfulness for those resources, believe that this is going to work, listen to them with that intent, focus, slowly understand that your mind shift is changing from the poverty where you felt inadequate, where nothing was happening, to the abundance mindset. The shift is happening, and then 100% prosperity will come. Am I talking out of my experience? 100%. Am I talking out of the experiment which was done? I just showed you what is happening in the brain when that shift is happening. And keep doing it repeatedly, keep doing it repeatedly. The day you will not give up, the time when the circuits have changed, your life would have changed. So thank you so much for watching this. If you have any comments, feedbacks, please do subscribe, talk to us. I'm always available for your personal growth. I'm always very passionate to understand every single context from the neuroscience perspective. So hang tight and please like, subscribe and share. Signing off, Dr. Sweta Adatia.